Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is part 20 of SQL Server tutorial. In previous session we have discussed about data control language. In this session we are going to discuss about transaction control language in SQL Server. Before continuing with this session, I would request you all please subscribe to my channel and click on bell icon for notification alerts. First we'll see what is meant by transaction control language. This is one of the important topic in SQL Server. Especially we will use these transactions while doing insert, update and delete. We have different commands under transaction control language, that is begin tran, commit tran and rollback. We can use it as rollback tran also. So it's tran mean by transaction. We can use the full name or you can use the short name as tran also. First we'll see one by one. So begin tran, it indicates the starting point of a transaction. Whenever we are using the begin tran, that is the starting point of the transaction. So before starting any transaction, we have to use the begin tran. If you add begin transaction before the statement, it automatically makes the transaction explicit and holds a lock on the table until the transaction is either committed or rolled back. Whenever we use the begin transaction before any statement, automatically it holds a lock on the table until the transaction is either committed or rolled back. So after using the begin transaction, we have to commit the transaction or we have to roll back. Any one should be done. Then only we can access the table. We'll see the syntax of begin transaction. This is the transaction. We can use the full name also like begin transaction, or short name we can use it as begin tran. So whenever we are using any statement or query, we have to use the begin tran. Then we can use our statement here. Here I am going to use an update statement. So we are going to update one table and we are going to update a column and we have to pass the value here. This where condition is optional. If you want to use the where condition, you can use or you can skip it. Especially while using update, we will use the where condition. That's why I'm updating here. Otherwise it will update entire table data. If you are not using where condition, we should be very careful. So this is our example begin tran. Here we are going to update one table and we are setting the employee name as test and where employee ID is. This is very simple syntax. So we'll complete remaining two also, then we'll see the demo of these transaction controls. Next is commit transaction. It commits the changes to the database. Whenever we are using the begin tran, we have to close with the commit tran. Then only it will commit the changes to the database. Once we issued a commit transaction, it cannot be rolled back. Whenever we use the commit transaction, we cannot roll back the transaction data. So once it is committed, that's it. It will be committed to the database. We can't roll back. This is a syntax for commit transaction. Here we are using begin tran. So this is our SQL statement. Whenever we are completing our statement, we have to commit the transaction. Then only the changes will be committed to the database. This is the example. Here we are using the begin tran. Then we are updating one table called employee master. And finally we are using the commit tran to commit the data into the database. Final one is rollback. You can use it as rollback or you can use the rollback transaction also. It starts the rollback process and reverts any changes performed by the transaction. Whenever we use the rollback, it reverts all the changes performed by the transaction. It might take a long time depending upon the changes performed earlier. So whenever we are using rollback, sometimes it takes more time depending upon our changes performed earlier. Suppose we are updating some 1000 records at a time and we are trying to roll back the transaction. That time it may take some extra time. This is the syntax for rollback. Here we are starting the begin tran and we are giving the update statement. After update statement, I found some issues or errors. So I want to roll back the transactions. So that time we will use, instead of commit transaction, we will use the rollback or rollback transaction. This is the example for rollback. We are updating one table. I don't want to commit all the transactions, so I am using the rollback and I am reverting all the changes. See the process flow of these transaction controls. we will start with the begin transaction. Then we have to provide the statements or our commands or queries. Then we have to check for the errors. If there is any errors, we have to roll back the transaction. If there is no errors, then commit the transaction. This is entire flow of our transaction control language. So this is very important one. Now we'll switch to SQL Server and we'll see the demo. I'm going to use Microsoft SQL Server 2012 and I'm going to use Windows authentication. If required, you can use the SQL Server authentication also by using login ID and password. I'm going to use Windows authentication only. Click on connect. It's connected to my database server. Expand the databases. I have one database called test database. Inside this, I created some tables. We will check the data of this TBL employees. Here I have one record called employee name, city, department and gender. Now I'll start to update this data. So whenever we are going to use the update, we have to start with the begin transaction. Then we have to pass our statement update. I have to pass the table name here. Then I want to update city. I want to update it as suppose hide. And here we can pass our where condition also. Otherwise it will update all the records in the table. In our case we have only one record, so we can use without where condition also. Here we use the begin transaction. Now after giving begin transaction, we have to commit the transaction. First we'll see what will happen if we are not using commit or rollback. Click on execute. One row is affected. Now I'll open new query and I'll try to access those data which is updated. Click on execute. See, we are unable to read the data because whenever we use the begin transaction, it will force the explicitly lock on the table. So until unless you commit the transaction or you have to roll back the transaction, you can't access the data which is uncommitted. So by default SQL Server we can access the data which is already committed. Still we can access the uncommitted data by using this command set transaction. Isolation 11 we have to change. So I want to see the uncommitted data also. So here we have to set. Now select this command, execute. Now try to run this select query. See, here we are able to access because this is not committed. That's why we have to execute this command, then only we can access the uncommitted data. Now we will commit the transaction because I want to update the record. So you no need to select entire thing, you can select the commit transaction, that's enough. Now you select the data. So now we are able to access the data. Suppose I am updating this to this transaction. Click on execute. So I have executed this data. I am changing employee city to Hyderabad. Now I don't want to commit. I'll use the rollback to revert the transaction. Click on execute. Now check the employee data. See, still it is hide only because we tried to update the data as Hyderabad, but finally we have not committed the transaction. We rolled back the transaction. That's why it is not updated. Like this we can use the begin run, commit run and rollback, all the transaction control language we can use. This is very important one. Now what we will do is, in real time we will use it like this. We will use these things in stored procedures especially. First we will create one stored procedure and we will see the begin run, commit run and rollback how to use in real time. Okay. For that I am going to create one stored procedure here. Click on database, new query. Here we will create one stored procedure. Create. I am going to create one stored procedure. Add employees. This is my stored procedure name. It will begin here and I want to provide few parameters here to insert the data. So here we have columns like name, city, department and gender. I am taking as name. So then I want city, then department, and gender. So this I am providing value. Length of the value will be 6 digit. Here I want to begin try. If there is any error, I want to catch it and end try. And here we have to catch the error, catch and catch. Okay, if there is any error, we will get it here. Here we have to use the insert statement. Before that, we have to start with the begin transaction. Then here we have to commit the transaction. Here I am inserting records into table employees and here we have to provide the column names. Here we have to provide the values of these columns, that is name, city, department and finally gender. So now our statement is ready. Here we'll start with the begin transaction and here we are going to insert the data. If the data is inserted successfully, then it will be committed, or else if there is any error, here we have to roll back. So we can use the rollback transaction like this also. Here for our understanding we will print statement. Suppose if it is committed successful, transaction committed. Suppose if there is any error, here we have to print this transaction rollback. Okay, so whenever there is error, it will print this message. Click on execute. Our stored procedure is created here. We will try to insert some records. Okay, here we have to provide the name, then we have to provide the city, then we have to provide department, finally we have to provide gender. Okay, click on execute. Transaction committed. Because there is no error, that's why this transaction is committed successfully. Now we will try to insert one more record here. Here what we are going to do is department length will be 10 digits. It will allow only 10 characters. We will try to add more than 10 characters. So same thing I am copying here. So I am trying to insert which department length is more than 10 characters. Click on execute. See, transaction is rolled back because it will allow only 10 characters where we are trying to insert more than that. So it will catch error here and it's roll back the transaction. If you want to see the error also, you can check it here. Print, you can get the exact error also like this. Here I am getting the error message. I'll print it here. Click on alter and execute. Our store procedure is executed. If you check the table, this record is not inserted because there was an error and it's rolled back. It was not committed the transaction. That's why it is printing the error. Now we will try to execute. Now it is showing the error details also. String or binary data would be truncated. So like this we can use the transaction control language in SQL Server. So in today's session we have discussed about transaction control language. In next session we are going to discuss about SQL classes in SQL Server. That's it for today. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to channel. Thanks for watching.